How do you define the best player in the world? For some, it's obvious. It's simple. The guy with the biggest numbers, the hardest carry jobs, a whole load of MVPs, and well, he's just really good. Olof Meister was the best in the world for a long time, a gloriously aggressive Swedish army knife who could blow massive holes in a defence or end rounds in a clutch if he had to. Cold Zero was the best player in the world, indisputably, for 2 years, or Device has an incredible amount of longevity, trophies and suave good looks. Not really relevant, but true. However, what if you're a bit more of a hipster? Who is the only player to have won 2 Grand Slams? Am I about to make a serious argument for Twistzz as the GOAT? I haven't thought that far ahead, but he is really fucking good. Twistzz started out as a kid playing on a bunch of different Canadian teams, making some serious waves. He signed for TSM, but quite quickly showed he was better than that. He joined Misfits, where he got elite coaching from Sean Gares. Sounds like I'm being a bit flippant, but Sean really knows what he's talking about. He helped Twistzz go from a raw talented kid to a refined, well-rounded threat. Or at least he would have if Liquid hadn't found him within a few months and signed him. Again, he's really good. It took a little while for Liquid as a whole to turn into a complete monster, but Twistzz was quickly acclimatising. Eventually, once Nitro took over, Liquid became the best team in the world, except they didn't. Team Liquid had an Achilles heel, or indeed an Astralis heel. Is that a good pun? I think it sounded better in my head. Initially, Liquid were getting into playoffs but losing to a variety of teams, but eventually they became the best of all of those teams and found themselves up against quite possibly the best team of all time. Every event, Astralis were just one step better. Liquid watched on as ENCE, who had failed them against the odds, bent the knee to the commanding Astralis in Katowice, and it looked like Liquid, and with it Twistzz, peak would lead to naught. Astralis didn't make the trip down under though, and Liquid smacked everyone around as Sydney to kickstart an unstoppable charge. Who else but Twistzz was the MVP. Twistzz once more put up a 1.22 as Liquid won in Dallas on a superb at Pro League, which was key as Liquid finally cut down Goliath, and importantly this time finished the job with a 3-1 win over G2. The Intel Grand Slam was on. Big time. Liquid were indomitable in Cologne and unstoppable in Chicago, annihilating ENCE in 3, like properly decapitating them. It was ugly. Twistzz was fantastic once more, but was still somehow topped by Unleash, which is kind of Twistz's story. He's always fantastic, but not always the highest rated. He's not Scottie Pippen, but he's not Michael Jordan either. He is, however, the most successful right-hand man of all time. He wasn't given complete freedom in Liquid. He's not the outright star of FaZe, but he's bloody brilliant at the roles he is given. He's been a part of 2 of the best teams of all time. Do you know who else has done that? In CSGO, it's nobody. The second great team is where Twistzz finally won his major and showed quite how tough it is to be this good for this long. Astralis, the team who had stopped from winning everything on Liquid, were a complete non-factor as FaZe breezed their way to wins in Katowice and Antwerp. Once more, Twistzz didn't get an MVP, but his highlight package and his ratings stay hot. And then, when the moment called for it in the Cathedral, who was the man called upon to fly through Mini and win the round single-handedly? Twistzz went from one of the best teams to never win, the team who choked on the big stage supposedly, to being the guy. The guy for the big occasion, for the big moment, on the big team, when stuff started falling apart. To call him a glue player is unfair, he's so much more than that, and yet he's also the best glue a team could ask for. Cologne was his crowning glory, possibly the best of 5 ever played, and it was Twistzz who was anointed at the altar as a man above other men. Well, he might not have gotten the MVP medal, but we all know. In fact, it's that MVP tally that is the one thing letting him down. Had he picked up a few more, and let's not forget he only won one of those MVPs in a loss at New York, hence this amazing picture, he might have been in the conversation. Seriously, who else has done what he's done? Alas, there was a twist in the tale. FaZe could have picked up their second major, Twistzz finally his big MVP and the Intel Grand Slam in one fell swoop. Speaking of swoops though, there were some eagles awaiting them in Rio. It felt for a moment like the moment had passed. FaZe were down and out and they started to crumble under the pressure that had made them diamonds previously. They went out earlier than they would have liked in Katowice and Blast wasn't too kind to them either. Thankfully they had another shot. ESL Pro League, just last week. FaZe, and Twistzz to some extent, were up and down, but held strong down the stretch. In the playoffs, Twistzz was once again just so damn reliable. 2 phenomenal performances against Na'Vi put FaZe into the final, and the Canadian was excellent for 3 of the 4 maps in the final as well. Twistzz, again, was a vital cog in the best machine in the world. Once more, however, he was snubbed in favour of the robotic Robs for the MVP, not unfairly, but Twistzz can wipe away his tears with his golden bar. His second golden bar, just to remind you, nobody else has that. Twistzz, if his career ended today, would have to go down as a legend. A key part of 2 of the best teams to ever compete, a game devoid of flaws, a temperament that's the envy of many a Tibetan monk, and the trophy cabinet that few others can match. Competition, at the end of the day, is about winning and being the best. Nobody has been the best quite like Twistzz.